So within the first 24 hours, we were told by our cardiologist that Simon, because of his diagnosis, would likely fall into one of 3 categories. The first being that he would bounce back within a matter of weeks. The second is that he would very slowly be able to stabilize and have some decrease in heart function throughout his life. He would be needing meds consistently and have some decrease in the quality of life, but unclear how much. And the third category would be that his heart would not stabilize. It would in fact decompensate, get worse, and that he would need a heart transplant and or die. And unfortunately, it seemed like at one point we were in the last third. And if we wanted to list him for heart transplant, we needed to go down to Stanford, to the Lucille Packard Children's Hospital, and meet with a cardiothoracic surgeon and decide whether or not we wanted to list him. Move down there, wait until a heart became available.
Yeah, we had talked about it during the week, and then by the end of the week, on a Friday, our cardiologist said, things aren't looking good, so if you're going to list him, you need to go today, and I made you an emergency, we can make you an emergency appointment today.
And we met with this nice fella.
Very concise and clear surgeon.
He sat us down and talked to us for 40 minutes straight about what it meant to wait to be listed for a heart transplant, what it meant to wait for a heart to become available, what it meant to have the surgery for a child this young, and then what the first month would be like, what the first year would be like, what the first 5 years would be like post heart transplant.
And even beyond that into Simon's teen years. And basically what he said was, this is going to be like boot camp.
And he was very clear. He was like, and you need to understand what this means, because if at any point you slack off, your child will die.
Right. And, oh, by the way, your kid is pretty much guaranteed at 5 months old, if we do the surgery, to have brain damage because of the interruption of oxygen to their brain. But we can't tell you how severe until he wakes up, and you may not know for years.
Well, but he did say, you know, it is likely to be from moderate to severe. Not mild. He said moderate to severe.
So just know that. And it's one of the things that I am most grateful for. He left the room, and Laura and I were very quiet. And I was like, I was turning to her, and I was like, please God, please God, please God, please God, let us be on the same page about this. And we just looked at each other, and just like tears streaming down our face. But we're just like, no, I can't. I don't want that for him. I don't want that for us.
And we know that other families have made a different decision and been very much at peace with their decision. However it turns out, we spent the next 48 hours, Saturday and Sunday, looking into palliative care and
saying goodbye.
How to best support Simon in being comfortable and saying goodbye. And Monday, our cardiologist came back on.
Our cardiologist had not been on duty over the weekend, so we were sort of doing this a little in a vacuum.
And he comes on, and I will never forget this moment, or these 2 words. I said, you know, we've decided not to move ahead with the heart transplant, and so, you know, do we need to start looking at palliative care and hospice right now? And he said, oh no, just like that. Oh no. And I was like,
what do you mean, oh no?
What do you mean?
We just have been saying goodbye to our baby. What the fuck?
And he was like, oh no, we have a couple more tricks up our sleeve. And I was like, what sleeve? What tricks are you talking about?
Yeah, I think we burst into hysterical laughing and crying at that moment. And he was like, oh, you guys, I'm really sorry.
But it was just this, you know, the opposite of rock bottom. It was like,
there was a light.
But he said, no, we can try a new aggressive medication regimen. And then within 24 hours, his function didn't change, his numbers didn't change, but he did.